welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this absolutely delicious lemon garlic butter chicken with fresh green beans. Now pay attention in the video, and I say this 2 or 3 times just so you don't forget. The seasoning that I tell you to mix up, that is what I use per thigh. That way you can make this recipe for as many chicken thighs as you need. Anyway, stay tuned and I'll show you how to make it. All right, y'all, let us get started. So first off, what I have over here, I have 4 large chicken thighs. These are bone-in. You can use boneless if you want to. Doesn't really matter. If you use bone-in, then your cooking time is going to be just a little bit longer. If you use the boneless, your cooking time will be shorter. So anyway, let us go ahead and season this chicken before we start cooking it. We're going to be using 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Dump that in there. 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Put that in there. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Put that in there. Let's give that all a good mix. And this does not make a whole lot of seasoning. And I'm going to tell you, you can double this, triple this, however much you want to. But my kids don't like really spicy things. And this is a little bit spicy, so I don't put a whole lot of seasoning on it. You put as much as you want to. So anyway, you're going to take your chicken thighs, and we are really going to coat them in this seasoning. No, I'm not putting any flour on this. We're trying to keep this low carb. So you're just going to season your chicken very well with this mixture. And then we're going to set it to the side. All right, so we'll do that here. Okay, so this one is pretty well seasoned. Now what I'm going to do is that same spice mixture that I just gave you, keep in mind, I'm going to use that per thigh, okay? Per thigh. You can make more if you want to. See, I'm just kind of getting it down in there like that. I'm making sure that it is thoroughly coated. Now, I don't know how many chicken thighs you're going to use. This is why I tell you to use that per thigh. You might think, well, that's a lot. Well, once you get cooking it, because we're going to be adding a bunch of stuff into the pan, it's really not a whole lot, okay? And you can always put more seasoning per thigh if you want to, but I found this is a pretty good amount, okay? So I have thoroughly coated this one. I'm going to do that same thing for each one of the thighs, and then we're going to set it to the side and come back. All right. Our chicken, look how nice and seasoned that chicken is. In this house, we like flavor, okay? I know somebody out there saying that's an awful lot of seasoning for 1 chicken thigh. You know what? We like flavor in my house. So anyway, next we're going to prepare some green beans. So in a microwavable dish, we are going to put some fresh green beans. I cannot eat canned green beans. Sorry. Most of these are trimmed. I see that some of them are not. And this is roughly 1 pound, okay? 1 pound of green beans. I'm just going to take that off there, and I saw one more. Okay, I think that is all. Okay, all right. So that's 1 pound of green beans. Now you're going to pour in about 1/2 cup of water. Make sure that they are all nice and covered. Okay, now we're going to put this in the microwave on high. We're not cooking them to death, okay? We're going to cook them in a pan with the chicken here in a little bit. We just want to sort of just soften them up just a little bit. So put them in a microwave on high for about 8 minutes. All right, so now I have my cast iron skillet here. I'm just melting some butter because we're going to be cooking the chicken. Now I'm going to melt this butter down. I'm also going to put in some olive oil. Why? Because when you add oil to your butter, it stops the butter from browning. So we're just going to mix that in. We're going to melt this butter, and then we're going to put in the chicken. All right, I got my chicken and I got my tongs. So you want to cook these pieces of chicken about 8 to 9 minutes per side over medium-high heat. Like I said, if you're using boneless, it won't take that long. But you want to make sure they're about 165 degrees if you check them with a meat thermometer. Like I said, 8 to 9 minutes, flip them over, cook them another 8 to 9 minutes. Make sure that they are done, okay? So we're going to cook these and I'll be back. Okay, so the chicken is done. It is in a dish and off to the side. We're just going to let it sit there for a little bit. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to throw in some more butter. We're in the South. We put butter on everything, okay? Now to this, we are going to put in 3 tablespoons of dried parsley. We are going to put in, where's my garlic? 4 cloves of garlic that has been minced, crushed, whatever you want to call it. Now you can leave this out if you want to. I have 1 tablespoon of hot sauce. Once again, you can leave this out if you want to. 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. All right, so let's get our tongs again. Just all of these lovely juices that the chicken was cooking in. Leave all that in there, okay? Don't dump that out. That's some good stuff. All right, so I'm going to turn the heat back up a little bit. Tips with your chicken. Now, I'm using cast iron, and you know, cast iron cooks a little bit differently than other pots and pans. Depending on what you use, you may need to reduce the heat of your chicken. Just keep a close eye on it so that you don't burn it, okay? Because when you are cooking meat in a pan that has a lot of seasoning on it, sometimes your seasoning may burn. So I just wanted to throw that in. Just keep an eye on it, okay? So now let's turn this up just a little bit and melt this down. Then what we're going to do is we have our green beans over here, our nice cooked green beans. And we're going to put the green beans in here. And then we're going to let those cook, about 5 minutes over medium heat. Because what we did in the microwave wasn't really enough to cook them all the way. As you can see, they are nice and bright. Look how bright those green beans are. Okay, so let's get all of those in there. And then you really want to mix them up with your sauce that you've made. Whatever you want to call it. I want to call it sauce. With your sauce, your chicken drippings, what have you. I got 1 more bean. Here we are. All right. I just toss all that up. Like I said, let that cook for about 5 minutes, okay? Make sure that you get all the sauce, all the seasonings all over those beans. This is so, so good. This is just so, so good. But it is a little spicy. And like I said, you can leave out the hot sauce. You can leave out the red pepper flakes. That is totally up to you. So you also don't have to mix up as much seasoning as I told you to in the beginning. You don't have to use that amount of seasoning per chicken thigh. Now, the chicken thighs that I got were pretty large. So each thigh just like really clung to those seasonings. But you don't have to use that much. You can scale it down. But anyway, cook this for 5 minutes and I'll be back. Okie dokie, our 5 minutes are up. So now to this, what we're going to add, 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of chicken stock and the juice of 1/2 a lemon. Now, the lemons that I have are large. If you have a small lemon, juice the whole daggum thing, okay? But we are going to add in the juice of just 1/2 of this lemon. And then I have some more lemons over here that, you can slice up and use as garnish. But anyway, we're going to cook this over medium heat, and we're going to let that reduce till it just thickens up just a little bit, okay? We're just trying to make a sauce for our chicken. Because we're going to put the chicken back in here in a little bit, okay? So anyway, just keep stirring that. Let it reduce down. And then we'll add in the chicken. All right. So as you can see, this has reduced down. You see about how thick that is? I'll make a nice sauce for our beans and our chicken. All right, so here is our nice juicy chicken that we cooked a while ago. We're just going to take this. We're just going to move the green beans around. And then we're going to put the chicken back in here just for a couple minutes, just to reheat it, bring it back up to temperature. I've had it covered, so it hasn't really had a chance to cool down. But anyway, you're just going to put that. I'm going to reduce the heat down just a little bit. I'm going to put this chicken. Come here, chicken. Maybe the chicken's not dead. He just tried to run away. So anyway, get that there. And then we're going to put this other one back in here. Okay. Like I said, we're going to reduce that down a little bit. Let's get our green beans around. If you want to, while this is heating up, you can just stick in a few lemon slices, put a lid on it, you'll let it heat up again. And the lemon will just infuse more flavor. You can do that if you want to. Add in a few more parsley flakes if you want to. But once this is all heated up, you're good to go. You're done. So I'm just going to let that sit there for a few minutes. And that's it. Serve and be happy. Anyway, I hope that you like this recipe. If you would, please give this video a thumbs up. Click subscribe. Check me out on other forms of social media, the links to all of which will be in the description box down below. And I hope to see y'all next time. Bye.